So through previous videos, I've made it known that I'm a big One Piece fan. I've been a fan of it for years, read it, watched it, played it. Anything to do with One Piece, I've basically been involved in as a fan. And so when news hit that the next arc in One Piece would essentially be the last arc, then it'll be finished, I had mixed feelings. Mixed because, one, it's ending. I'm not going to be able to watch it or read it anymore because it's going to be finishing and there's going to be no, new material for me to watch. But again, I understand. There's been like 1,000 chapters, 1,000 episodes. It's been going on for decades. Yeah, why not? It's time. Good things must come to an end or they become bad things. And I'm just happy that One Piece has managed to stay good for all this amount of years. So what I want to do here is just go through sort of like this list of predictions I have here. Some of them believable, some of them you might, look at differently, some of them might be convincing. But these, I believe, have a strong likelihood of coming true in the next One Piece arc. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not, betting anything. I'm not hoping this comes true. It's just a couple of ideas that I have and want to see what people think of them. I think the first obvious one that basically will happen is that the history of One Piece will be revealed. I'm not talking about the actual One Piece itself, but I mean, the world. Because we all know there's the voice entry. That's what got Robin's family killed. And we all know the government don't want anyone to find out about that. That's the whole reason why they changed the name of the devil fruit. Why they don't like people with the name D in it. With the letter D in it, I should say, sorry. Why people made the polygraphs that detailed the history of the world. Why certain races were hunted out. It's because they don't want the history of the world to be leaked, but we don't know why. And I feel like when this book is over, we're going to eventually find out what went down and why they want to keep it. It also has something to do with that king guy. The guy that's in charge of the Gorosei. And when we do eventually finish this, we're going to find out what his deal is about as well. Because he wants, Shirahoshi? The mermaid princess? I feel that's her name. I know he has a grudge against Luffy as well. Because of him having the fruit. And he was probably the one that outlawed the fruit in the first place. So I know he's a target. And we all saw that big straw hat he had in his room. So obviously he's a target for this king guy. Yeah, Shirahoshi, I got that correct. But one thing that we have to address is that whoever this king guy is may have been around for ages, considering, his knowledge of what happens, and maybe he has knowledge of the voice entry, may have knowledge. Maybe he might even turn up at Laugh Tale and turn up at the last island, just to be like, you've gone far enough, now I have to get involved, let me tell you what happened, and then get rid of you, basically. I'm not sure if we'll see the Gorosei fight. I know there's one guy who has a sword, but anytime I think of will we see this character fight, one thing that I always keep in mind is that, yes, it's the last arc, but we don't know how long the writer has. We don't know how long in terms of a deadline, in terms of how many chapters he wants to put into this last arc. This last arc could be 500 chapters. Could be another 1,000 chapters. We don't know. At this point, we're just guessing and estimating. So there's so many fights we could want to see, but we might have to just skip over them just for time. That's why some of my predictions, if they don't come true, I'm not really bothered. There's like some fights that are destined to happen, but at the same time, not really. So another prediction I have is Zoro will beat Mihawk. There's something they've been building since like the second or third arc in One Piece. They've been building towards the confrontation between Mihawk and Zoro. Because Zoro said he's going to beat him. Zoro said, "You think you have hands? I have hands too." Mihawk beat him the first time, but this Zoro is vastly stronger than the Zoro we first encountered. Vastly stronger. I don't know what type of damage is going to be done to him when, with this whole like sort of death character that's come onto Wano. Sorry. And we're not gonna know what sort of shape he's in or what he can actually do. But I feel like it will be a good fight, definitely. With the way they've been going with in terms of animation and writing, Zoro versus Mihawk will be a good fight. Definitely. Another big fight that you probably will see, Luffy versus Blackbeard. Since Blackbeard was responsible for Ace's death, of course we're going to see that fight. Of course. It really makes sense to show that fight. And that's another thing we might find out at the end of this. What is Blackbeard's deal? Why is he like who he is? Why doesn't he sleep? Why does it seem like he has mixed personalities? Why is he able to take 2 devil fruits at the same time? And there's lots of questions that need answers, I should say. And hopefully will get answered by the end of this arc. Another fight that could happen, Luffy versus Shanks. Because if you think about it, he's gone against every Yonko. He's gone against Big Mom briefly. He's beating Kaido now. He's gonna face Blackbeard. But what about Shanks? What's Shanks' role in this? Is he just like a mentor? Will they never fight? Are we never gonna see Shanks fight? I think Shanks versus Luffy could be a good fight. But then again, we don't know what he's capable of. Another thing we might get to find out is Shanks' connection to the Gorosei. Because remember, during, what's it called again? Reverie, that's what it's called. During Reverie, he met up with the Gorosei. And the way they were talking, it was like they don't like each other, but they need each other. It's sort of something to akin to when, in Hunter x Hunter, when Killua's family was chasing after the spiders, and they were fighting the head of the spiders. And they were just treating it as, well, this is a job. And if I killed you before my son did his job, oh well, so be it. You know, just a means to an end. So hopefully that connection gets some more detail, because I don't think it'll be an evil, twist. Like, Shanks is the king of the world. Nah, I don't want to be that. If anything, maybe Shanks is similar to Doflamingo, in the sense that he was he was part of like the higher ups, the royal family and all that. However, maybe his family left, and then he joined up with Whitebeard when he was a bit older. But yeah, that's another prediction. Well, Cyborg's alive. That's another prediction. Cyborg will be alive by the time this is over. Just simply because it makes sense that there's apparently been sightings in other chapters of this sort of Mars character, and that, I'm sorry if I'm reading something, sorry if I'm stuttering, but there's been sort of sightings of this Cyborg character in newspapers. I have a tiny theory that he's the CP agent that is helping Big News Morgan. Because it makes sense, This suddenly deserting CP agent is now giving information to a newspaper. Doesn't really make sense to me. Like, why hasn't it happened before? What about this makes it different? Whereas if it's Sabo in disguise, Sabo's watching over Luffy, pretending to whatever the girls say, and then he is actually taking the news back to the world government, the newspaper, and maybe that's how he's reaching the Revolutionary Army, through the newspaper, because because they believe he's dead. So maybe he's doing something to make them know that Sabo is alive. And the last couple of predictions that I believe might happen is this ain't the last time we see Kaido and Big Mom. Simply because they're not dead. They're just defeated. They're not dead. They're not killed. They still have their devil fruits. They're still very strong. This is not the last time we'll see them. And in fact, this will probably lead into the last island, where maybe they have ships following the Straw Hats, and then they all turn up. And this is where the last prediction comes in. I feel like there's going to be a big, big battle between the Navy, the Straw Hat Fleet, and then the Yonkos. Because the Yonkos want everything for themselves, so they're not going to side with the Navy, and they're not going to side with the Straw Hats. And the Straw Hats don't like either the Navy or the Yonko, because the Navy is responsible for Ace's death and so many things in the world. And the Navy, well, they've abolished the warlords, and they have new admirals. And these new admirals don't like pirates at all. They don't even like some people in the Navy. So it's not going to be as simple as, okay, let's team up as pirates against the Navy. There's going to be a war. You might see admirals clash against Yonkos, or Straw Hat members versus admirals, and you might even see like Blackbeard not getting involved but just watching, and then he's going to see who remains and take them out. Okay, that's who Blackbeard is. He's strong, but he's strong in the sense of, okay, you guys will fight. We'll pick the carcass. We'll pick who's left behind. But yeah, those are just my quick predictions for One Piece. I hope it does have a satisfying end. I know there's been interviews where Oda said the One Piece is actually tangible. It's an actual treasure. It's not a metaphor or anything. But in terms of the story, I hope it has a satisfying conclusion. Because it has been going on for decades, to the point in which the writer knows how it's going to end anyway. It's just a matter of putting pen to paper. And just before I forget, and that leads into the last prediction. Last prediction. I think Luffy might die. I think he might. Just based on the fact that every pirate that has held a position that is equal or higher to Luffy's ultimately ends up dying after a while. Whitebeard died, Roger died, Odin died, Joyboy died. No? The Great Explorer, he was a king of the pirates, but he died as well. It seems like anyone that's sort of that level of legend, or that legend of success, ultimately ends up dying. And so, I think that might happen. I remember reading a spoiler that I guess isn't true, where Luffy was supposed to lose to Kaido, get caught by the Navy, die, and then Law would use his fruit to bring Luffy back. And I haven't seen anything that suggests this might still happen, because Luffy beat Kaido, and Kaido's men has been imprisoned, and it looks like they're going to set off in the next couple of chapters. So I don't think it's the case anymore, but I still believe Luffy might become ill or die. Because one, when he first did the gear system of leveling up, it was said it causes a great amount of strain on a person's body. And when Ivankov healed him, that causes strain on the person as well. The whole way of using his abilities causes strain on the person. So I would not be surprised if Luffy has an illness, just like Roger ends up dying later on. I don't want it to happen. Luffy's my guy, but at the end of the day, it's up to the writer, and I believe that could possibly happen. And it would suck if it had to happen, but in a way, it would kind of make a good sort of parallel and an end to the story. Luffy becoming king of the pirates, him dying to achieve his dream, and just people being inspired to continue. Who knows? Luffy might inspire the next Pirate Age, and the cycle just continues and continues. But yeah, we just have to wait and see what happens.